I'm back again because I really need to make this video because I'm not the only person struggling with this. The reason why I didn't make videos is, well, first of all, I had to put my effort on things that actually make money, and this is my hobby. It's unfortunately not making enough to make a living on it. I wish I would be. Anyway, but there is another reason for that. The other reason is that I entered perimenopause and hard. That caused me to especially have a very reduced libido. But I'm so much more tired. I have a lot less energy. It's hard to start new stuff. I have mood swings from all over the place. And all of that combined made it really hard for me to make videos. But I decided that there's one video that I really need to make, and that's this one. And that's what happens if you're submissive, or you as a submissive gets into perimenopause. Because it's gonna happen to every woman that doesn't die before she gets into perimenopause. The point is that your body is preparing to go to menopause, which means that you stop and you're not fertile anymore, you stop menstruating. The problem is the period until then is filled with hormones for all over the place, and it's not funny, and it takes years. It's really heartbreaking, really, and there is so little knowledge about it. It's so not done talking about it. Thank God it's finally gonna change. I can feel that there's a little bit of change in it. In my business life, I can feel that sometimes I can actually address it. In my normal life, I'm working as a trainer, and sometimes I'm just telling people, like, listen, I'm not feeling very well. I'm in menopause or in perimenopause, and I'm suffering from a gray cloud today. It happens sometimes. I really wanted to give you the training, but be a bit kind for me, and there's so much understanding for that. And I'm working with soldiers or like guys, you know, like the testosterone people, the young ones. They really don't understand, but they totally get it. So that would also be my first tip. If you're suffering from perimenopause, can I just call it menopause from now? Such a hard word for me. Perimenopause. If you're suffering from any symptoms of that, it's because of that. And it doesn't, for many people, it starts only when you're like 45 or even 50, but it can happen that it also hits you when you're 39, 38. I know I had some symptoms already for 3 years, and I'm 45 now. Well, tomorrow I'm 46, but so actually when this video comes off, it's my birthday, I guess. But it's so I thought that I was young, but now that I start talking about it, I hear that all my friends suffer from it too, and they're also sometimes younger than me. The good thing is that it passes. The bad thing is that it takes quite some time, but life can still be beautiful. There's so much to enjoy. It means that you're getting into a new phase in your life, and the wisdom phase is the part that you can share your wisdom with the world, and that's something that I really like to do. Now, it's possible that you have a girlfriend or a wife, a female partner, that's suffering from one of the following symptoms. And I would like to share with you what is everything that can happen. Now, everyone knows that perimenopause comes with hot flashes, and they sometimes stay after that. It's just one of the symptoms, and it doesn't mean that you have to have it, and that if you don't have it, you're not in perimenopause, because I don't have them. Rarely, sometimes at night, but for me, it's not my biggest issue. One of the things that I'm really suffering from, and that I hear a lot, is brain fog. If you would do an IQ test, you would probably score 20 points lower than normal. It's sad, but it's true. It does something with your concentration, with your focus, with how much you can remember. Your short-term memory is horrible. You will lose stuff more than you did before. It's trouble. If you have a partner that is suffering from perimenopausal symptoms, don't give them too complicated assignments, because it's going to frustrate both of you, and it's not fair. because she's not 20 anymore and she's not able, maybe at this moment. She might be in a few years, but right now, don't push it. Next one is headaches. I never have headaches. I never had headaches, and suddenly I have headaches if I work too long. So it's also a sign that I really need to take care of myself, which is by far the biggest tip to anyone who is actually suffering from perimenopause. You really need to take care of yourself. Get into, start exercising, especially heavy shit lifting is very important if you're in this type of age, because your bone density drops, and the best way to improve it again is by weightlifting. So that can really make a difference. There's one wonderful doctor, and she's called Stacy Sims, and she did a lot of research about it. She has tons of places, and she wrote a fantastic book called Roar. I will put the link also below in the video where you can buy it. It's a fantastic book that describes everything that happens. It's my clock. I'm sorry for that. Okay, so the headaches. If you have a submissive that's suffering from headaches, just give her a break. This is the time that you're there to take care of her instead of the other way around, maybe. She might need a little bit more attention. So have some patience, feel her, please. She's not having a headache because she doesn't want to have sex. By the way, she might not want to have sex because one of the other symptoms is a very, very low libido, which is, for me, is very challenging. We're on a relationship that's on a distance, and sex was our communication, well, a lot of it. So we had to find other ways, because what happens is that what we could do with sex is it's asynchronous, right? He can give me an assignment, I can execute, I can report in the time that I feel it's possible, and then he can react, and he gets the reaction. So we're in touch all the time. Now it's really hard for me to do something like that. We do have sometimes a bit of sexual assignments, for instance. I mean, I wasn't interested in sex for like 6 months in a row. I didn't touch myself for 6 months. Well, except when he was here, but when I'm alone, I don't feel like it. So now I said, and I asked for him, I said, I would like to know if my body is still responsive for it. And I'm not turned on, not interested as such in sex, but I said, can I try that for 30 days to have an orgasm every day? So I got this assignment, and this is an assignment that now, I mean, I found out a lot about myself, about my body. I still can have orgasms. In the beginning, they were weak, not interesting really. It took me a long time to get there. They're still getting me a long time. I can't orgasm anymore without the help of any tools. So there's 3 tools that I want to share with you. One of them, wands, vibrators, anything that can help. It helps. Second one, this. Not even touching myself goes easy anymore. I'm drier than I used to be, but this is my life savior. I think this is the best lube in the world anyway. So it's K2 lube. I think it's KY lube. I really like it. And the last toy is porn. For me, porn still can work. I think I told you about it, that there's 2 different ways that you're reacting if you get aroused. Your body is getting aroused and your mind is getting aroused. My body can get aroused. I can also get an orgasm, but somehow my mind is not really getting aroused. That's something to take into account if your partner is suffering from that. And it's also something, if you have that, there's nothing wrong with your relationship. There's nothing wrong with you. It's hormones. There's nothing you can do with it. You have the libido, if you ever got a child, you have the libido of the first 3 months that you were pregnant. Maybe you do remember that. I do. I was really not interested in anything like that. I didn't really want to get touched. My whole body was sensitive, but not in a good way. I'm a pain slut. I love pain. I'm a big masochist, but you can touch me, but squeeze maybe a little bit, but that's it. If before I would have a range of 1 to 10 of how much you could hurt me, and that I would find to be a turn on. Now I'm in a range of 1 to 3, and we really need to play with it. Which is a challenge, because it's one of the things that's in our relationship, is part of it, but it's not there. And yeah, I mean, we had to find other ways to deal with it. So first of all, what we did is like what we said, I get assignments that are small. There's no pressure on it. So I get an assignment that I can get an orgasm every day, but I don't have to, because then I need to tell him, then I need to put in my diary how much time I use to play with myself, and then I can decide this is not going anywhere, I can stop it. It only happens twice, when I was kind of sick. For the rest, I did manage. Sometimes it takes me a long time. But this is something to take into account. You cannot ask from your woman the same things that you could before. Now, for me, because actual sex or sex with me is not so interesting, but I'm still very interested in having sex with you, like the partner. That for me is not a problem. I love giving a blowjob. It's wonderful. It's very connecting. It's very sexy. It's not really a turn on for me, because nothing at the moment is a turn on, but it gives me a lot of feeling of intimacy. I feel very connected. It's very vulnerable. It gives me a lot that I'm looking for in a dom-sub relationship, that I can still have, but I'm just not interested in having sex with me. So imagine that your woman says like, I would love to give it to you, and she's not interested in having it for you. Leave it. Enjoy it. It doesn't have to do anything with you. She's just not interested in having sex with her body. But yeah, so find a way that you, because I don't say that this is for me, it's not for everyone, but find a way that works for you, and just take some time to discuss what would you like? What's something that would fit in? And explore. Find other ways. That's what we do now. I mean, I get a lot of assignments that are completely different. But now he's giving me assignments that, I mean, he's training the same things, right? He's training, for instance, for me, he's training my discipline. So discipline he trains, because then I need to do every day something for 30 days. Now he gives me different assignments, some do nots and some do's. I have to have an orgasm, for instance, but also that I have to learn I have to juggle for 15 minutes every day. Why? I like it. I have the balls. It's good brain body connection. It helps for focus. It's fun. It's playful, and it's training me in my discipline. But it's not sexual. That's the only difference. And I get assignments like things I don't do. Like for instance, I cannot have sugar this month. Well, then I cannot have sugar. It reminds me of him pretty much every day because I love sugar. So find other ways that you can play, and that you can find your dom-sub relationship, even when it was only in the bedroom. If you would like to keep something like this, see if you can find other ways to connect. Especially long distance, this is so important. One of the other things is weight gain. The other symptoms is weight gain. I mean, I work out a lot. I'm eating very healthy. I mean, for me, 30 days sugar is not a very big deal. It's not easy, but it's not a big deal because I'm not eating a lot of sugar. I'm eating pretty healthy. I'm working out a lot. But I gained 5 kilos suddenly in 6 months from nothing. That does something with my self-confidence also. That's also something then to take into account. It's not because I didn't take care of myself. It's because my hormones change. Now, don't see this as an excuse that you can eat anything. I would definitely recommend start looking for a healthy diet that will give you what you need. If you're in perimenopause, you will need more protein, for instance, like a lot more. If you're working out with that I also would recommend, because what we often do is when we feel tired is that we don't feel like working out. It makes it worse. See if you can find a way to work out. Go for a walk every day. I mean, it doesn't have to be very complicated. Find something that you like. Go dance. Go dance. If you have a dancing program on your PlayStation or whatever, and that's something that you like, do it. Find something that you can move every day for 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be harsh. You don't have to run a marathon, really. But find something that gets you moving, because that's the way to deal with those symptoms the best. Now another one that's really not fun is that your sleep quality is declining. I tend to wake up lately. I never woke up from anything. I mean, my kids could like, "Mom!" shout, and it's just like, get out, and I fell asleep immediately. And nowadays I'm sometimes waking up twice at night or so. I don't find it hard to fall asleep again, but it's disrupting, and it means that I'm also that gets me tired. For that, and also because there's sometimes in the night you have the night sweats or hot flashes in the night. I would recommend to not tie anyone anymore, and anyway make something. Make whatever you do, whatever you decide, doesn't matter how you connect with each other. Make sure that you always create space for your submissive to get out of it quickly, because hormones it's your body taking over. It's not a mental thing usually, and even if it is, I would say also have some patience with that too, because your mind is also doing crazy stuff now. Yeah, it's hard to explain to a guy what this does. I mean, it was hard to explain to me a few years ago when I had no clue what it was about. I mean, I could understand the hot flashes, but the mood swings, and sometimes I have these gray clouds, and all I can do is cry and lie in bed and cry more, and then wait for a day, and then I get the energy to get out of bed and make tea and watch some Netflix. But that's at the end of the 2 days. And I'm a very happy camper normally, so that was shocking for me. I mean, I was thinking of is there a reason to live still? So I was having very depressive thoughts from out of nowhere, and it's crazy that it's physical, but it's what happens. Okay, I realize that this is a very personal story, so it's for everyone, it's different. But I would strongly recommend do some research, give yourself a break, be kind for yourself or for your partner, and for sure don't hide anything. Just talk about it and find other ways that you can find a connection again. If you have any questions, just don't hesitate, shoot me a message. I always react on my comments. And if you ask a question there, I will answer, or you can send me an email if you don't feel comfortable sharing it in public. So I'm here if you need anything. Have fun and play with passion.